Hey, good morning. Sorry it's been a while since I last talked with you. So, today I wanted to go over parliamentary procedures with you. AMTA follows Robert's Rules of Order. I'm sorry, I'm going to use my notes because it's just too hard to memorize all this stuff early this morning. So, anyway. AMTA follows Robert's Rules of Order here in the Assembly, in the Board of Directors meetings, and many other regional boards and stuff. Today's video will be a refresher course to us old-timers, or a quick foray into the new world of Robert's Rules of Orders for the people who are new to the Assembly or new to parliamentary procedures. If you're unfamiliar with Robert's Rules and you'd like to learn more about it, a really good resource that was recommended to me by Brian Hunter is Robert's Rule of Orders, New, Revised, in Brief, 2nd edition. In this video today, I'll be talking about how to address the Assembly, making motions, voting, and how the agenda is set for the Assembly meetings. When you address the Assembly, you'll want to make sure that you say your name and your region each time. You'll want to speak into the microphone to address the body, and this is not for amplification purposes, but it's for the record of the meeting. We recorded, and Diane Warzessen from AMTA office then creates the notes for us. So to make a motion, you'll go up to the microphone and you'll say your name and your region, and then you say, "I'd like to make a motion," and then say it. It's good to be prepared before you go up to the microphone with the exact wording. It's not so good, and it takes a lot of time if we have to wordsmith the motion while someone's making it. It kind of slows things down and also can make things confusing. So the more you can be prepared when you go up there, the better. And when you make a motion, you'll want to fill out the motion paper and pass it up to Diane, who will be sitting up at the front to my left, usually. And then, and just a part of the parliamentary procedure is that each motion needs to be seconded before we can discuss it. And all that requires is someone going, second the motion. Okay? No big deal. Every year, there's always someone who wants to make a friendly amendment. And despite how friendly we all are within the body, we're very good friends. But there's no such thing as a friendly amendment. Okay? So those of you who were around last year might remember that we got into a little bit of a tricky area with a motion on a motion, and it got very confusing. So I just wanted to go over that sort of thing first. So if there's a motion on the table or on the floor, and we're discussing it, and you want to make a change to it, you can make a motion on the motion. So what you do is then you go up to the mic and you're like, "Hi, I'm Annette. I'm from New England region. I would like to make a motion on the motion," and then state what it is. And then we'll need a second for that to have that then motion on the motion go to the body to discuss it. And then we'll have the discussion on the motion on the motion. We can't discuss the previous motion. We just discuss the motion on the motion. And then we vote on that, and if it's accepted, then we go back to the previous motion with the amended language. If the motion on the motion is not accepted, then we go back to the original language in the first motion, and then we continue that discussion, and then we vote on that. It's a little tricky, so I have a little demonstration for you. Enjoy. For the purpose of this demonstration, I have resorted to using the resources available to me. Unfortunately, I do not have a bunch of music therapists at my beck and call to star in this video, but there is lots of Playmobil in my house, so this is the assembly. Here's the speaker. We're joining the assembly when the old business has finished and the floors Open for new business. Mary steps up to the mic and identifies herself as being from the Great Lakes region. She moves to require all music therapists to eat more fiber. Mary really believes in healthy eating and healthy living and the benefits of fiber. Frederica identifies herself as being from New England, and she seconds the motion. The speaker opens up the floor to discussion about music therapists being required to add fiber to their diets. Frederica stands up and speaks to the motion in favor of it. Jeff is from the Western region and speaks also in favor of the motion. Margaret, from the Mid-Atlantic region, speaks in opposition of the motion. She does not believe it is good to require music therapists to eat fiber. Juanita from the Southeastern region makes a motion on the motion to change the language to encourage from require. Luis from the Midwestern region seconds the motion. The discussion follows, and many people get up to speak. They speak in favor of changing the words from require to encourage. The speaker calls for the vote, and the assembly overwhelmingly approves the word change to encourage. The discussion then resumes on the first motion with the changed language. The motion now says that music therapists are encouraged to eat more fiber. The assembly votes on this changed motion and passes the recommendation that music therapists eat more fiber. The new business has been completed and the assembly adjourns for the year. So prior to our meetings, you're going to have the assembly board book sent to you by email. And I want to make sure if there's somebody on your region, like the president or the head assembly person, make sure that everybody got it, including the delegates who may be filling in. That was very important, that everybody has the same information. I want you to make sure you read the entire book. And I know that book is not super exciting. It is not. And I know that we're going to sit through and listen to the same reports that you just read in a book. But it's really important to have the information about what's going to be said so you can form your good questions and we can have thoughtful discussions if everybody's involved. It's our role as assembly people to have the information, synthesize it, and be ready for these thoughtful discussions. And so in the book you're going to find reports from committees, from officers, from AMTA office, from CBMT, from everywhere. And so you'll get an idea of the breadth of the work and the depth of the work that's going on throughout the year. And it's if for your first time reading all that, I remember, at least for me, it was like, wow, this is amazing, all that is happening. And there's just so many people working towards AMTAs on our mission, and it's just a really cool thing. And so most of the motions that will be brought to the assembly will be coming from the information within the book. There's a few committees like the Ethics Committee, the Standards Committee, a few others that do the majority of their work at the conference. And so they may have an idea that they might be bringing something to the assembly, but they don't always have, they will not have the information prior to the conference meetings. And so they'll bring new information to us about if they're making amendments or changes to their documents. But pretty much everything else will be in the book. So there's an agenda for each meeting, and that agenda is set by the speaker, the assistant speaker, and the president. So that would be me, Angie Snell, and Amy Furman will be getting together and talking about this agenda and coming up with it. And this year, a new thing, we're sending a draft agenda, so don't bank on this is exactly how every meeting's going to go, but we're sending a draft agenda to give you a flavor for what's going to be happening. And it's going to come out before conference. In the past, for those of you who are new, in the past you get the agenda when you come into into the room and sit down for the meeting. And so I personally like to be prepared for meetings, and so I wanted to give that same courtesy to you guys and gals and people. Let's see. So this is the way the agenda goes, and that's set by Robert's Rules of Orders, that we're going to read and approve the minutes. That will be then hearing the reports from officers from different boards and standing committees. Next we'll hear the reports from special committees. Then we'll have special orders. We'll finish up any unfinished business and general orders, and then we'll start new business. And then finally, when everything's done, we'll adjourn for the year. And so within our agenda, this year's going to be a pretty interesting year, and I'm really looking forward to it. You may have heard that there's a new scope of practice that's being worked on, and that most likely the Assembly will be looking at it and voting on it this year. So I really encourage you to have read that document and taken some time to think about it and connect with your members of your region if you need to about this document. It's not available yet. No. We'll also be hearing from the Master's Level Entry Committee, and hearing about the work that they've been doing. And then we'll have the regular business of the Assembly, voting on different important matters and hearing about the work that's being done. So I think it's a good year, and I'm excited to see you all and to work with you. Take care.